After reading the comments of my previous video, I've decided to find every difference between LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga and LEGO Star Wars 2 The Original Trilogy. Tell me if I missed anything in the comments. There are some differences that are absent from this game as well as the original from 2005. First of all, the icons for all the characters are still different. There's also still no challenge mode. It is the same for power-ups. This makes the Infinite Stormtrooper room and Death Star escape near impossible. Also, the grapple spots are different. And you cannot save and exit in the middle of a level. You are also not able to do a Jedi Slam if you don't have your lightsaber out. In terms of differences that are exclusive to this game, there are many. While both of the game's hub worlds are Mos Eisley Cantina, the sequel's version of it is much more circular than in the complete saga. For whatever reason, each level's true Jedi meter is separated between story mode and free play. To my knowledge, not only is this not in the complete saga, this is the only game in the LEGO series in which each level has two stud meters. You can use prequel characters in both games, however, the way you do so is different between them. In the complete saga, they are a core element of the game, but in the sequel, you have to have a save file of the original game on your console. Since LEGO Star Wars 2 was on the Xbox 360 but the original wasn't, you would have to purchase prequel characters with real life money. The characters that you start out as when you enter the game are Leia and Captain Antilles instead of Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. So, while I'm recording this, I'm currently editing the video right now. And originally for the 11th one, I was going to say all of the character icons are sorted alphabetically, but in the complete saga, it is sorted out by when you unlock them in story mode. But honestly, after looking back, it doesn't seem like that's there at all. I don't know why I put that there. So, yeah. In terms of UI differences, the hearts for both players are spaced out more in the sequel. Beach troopers are a little different in this game. They wear nothing but a Speedo, but in the complete saga, they gave them a tank top. While the save icon for the game is Darth Vader, the complete saga chose to make it Death Star 2. In the complete saga, there are two levels where you can play as Darth Vader in story mode: Jedi Destiny and A New Hope. The latter level is not in the sequel, so he only has one level in that version. The sequel is the first LEGO game with custom characters. This version has the default names be Princess Dave and White Rebel Leia. In the complete saga, it is Stranger 1 and Stranger 2. The infinite stud panel in the first room of Secret Plans shoots out more studs in the complete saga. After you pull these two levers, the Sith room shows a mini kit, but the door closes before you can enter. In the complete saga, it is always closed. These two things that you have to build for the bridge to go forward give studs in the complete saga, but in the sequel, they do not give any. This is something that is not only present in this level, but other parts of the game as well. In the third room of this level, when you push these objects into the ground, they give you studs in the sequel but not in the complete saga, which is a reverse of what happened on the bridge. In the mid-tro cutscene of Secret Plans, There is a dark red light in the sequel, but it is removed in the complete saga. In the room with Rebel Friend, the protocol droid panel flashes to show you it's there, but when developing the complete saga, they must have thought it was unnecessary, so they removed it. In the opening cutscene of Through the Jundland Wastes, when Luke uses his binoculars to look at the Tuscans, there are coordinates at the bottom, but this was removed in the complete saga. The suction that pulls you into the crawler is much more prevalent in the complete saga. In the room where you save C-3PO, the canisters not occupied by C-3PO have gonk droids in them in the sequel, but in the complete saga they are taken out. In the same room, the thing you need to push is green on both sides, which is different from the rest of the game. This is fixed in the complete saga. Once you go into Obi-Wan's hut, instead of instantly starting the cutscene, there is a mini cutscene of all the characters walking in after you, but they took this out of the complete saga. The bounty hunter panels in Mos Eisley Spaceport use Greedo in this level only. In the final room of Mos Eisley Spaceport, the shadow is completely different between both games. In the opening cutscene of Death Star Escape, one of the screens displays a camera view inside of the compactor. In the complete saga, it is a random set of letters and numbers. In the opening room of Escape from Echo Base, the bomb that you build to open the door makes a noise that is not seen in the complete saga. In the next hallway, the heater that melts the door stays after it does its job, but in the complete saga it explodes. Once you redirect the cart, the mini cutscene will start earlier in the sequel. In the ending cutscene of Falcon Flight, the audio cuts out at the end in the complete saga, but in the sequel it is still there. In the sequel, it is much more obvious that the Dark Side Cave is a cave. It is dark, noises have echoes, and you can even hear Darth Vader breathing in the background. This was all removed in the complete saga for some reason. In the room where you fight Boba Fett in Betrayal on Bespin, there are special shadows added in the complete saga that were not in the sequel. The power bricks in Jedi Destiny and Into the Death Star are swapped in the complete saga. In the sequel, You get infinite torpedoes in Jedi Destiny and score times 10 in Into the Death Star, but it is the opposite in the complete saga. The sound that the Star Destroyers make when they explode is louder in the sequel compared to the complete saga. In the mid-tro cutscene of Into the Death Star, Lando Calrissian does not wear a cape, but one was added in the complete saga. The complete saga has twice the amount of bounty hunter missions due to adding prequel bounties. When nearing the percentage meter, it will show your progress. To do the same thing in the complete saga, you have to go to every individual level. After finding 85 differences in the original game, it's quite a shock to me that the sequel doesn't have even half as many differences. But after thinking about it, I realized why. The complete saga is basically just applying the LEGO Star Wars 2 format to both games that released previously. Basically, it was a second attempt at the prequels. Thank you all so much for watching, and tell me if I missed anything in the comments.